So in today's Chintana, Bhautik Chintana, we'll just go over the topic that is in news and it is already hurting many of us, and things that we never expect may happen and are happening. So there are multiple angles to look into it. So I am looking from one angle. So in this angle, it needs some sort of analysis, like what has happened and how to analyze the situation, and then how can we make our community stronger in a further coming day. So what we mean by stronger community also we need to really understand. So um, so what are the areas this news will impact? So basically, as I said, I am taking only one side of the one angle of thinking. There are multiple angles. For example, we have to protest against it, or we may ask a strict action against people who have done. And even if assume that the news is true and it had very bad elements into it, and then those impurity have already entered into our ourself, what need to be done for those. So those areas I'm not considering in this, but I'm considering something which is from many years with us and which is going needed for many years further or many centuries further, so that we as a community are strong. So the important point I am taking is the faith system. So the most important thing in our community is the faith system. We believe God is supreme, and most of us will also believe that Lord Narayana himself came to this Sheshachala, Anjanachala, Rishabhachala, and then he made it as a Venkatachala. Means he is there to saints and sages like Sri Vadiraja Swamigalu, Sri Vyasarajaru, and Purandaradasaru, and many of these saints and great people have found that God himself is standing there. It's not a just statue. So because of that, we also see that the way how they maintained the importance of that holy place when they visited uh, to Lord Venkateshwara. So faith system is very, very important for our community. And second thing is capability as a community, like what capability as a community we have to show under these circumstances, and then what how it impacts on the capability of a community, and then action versus inaction. Like there are two options only left with us, either action or inaction. So how it will be perceived. So basically this news is very much penetrated into every house, and I think there is nobody who might have not heard it so far. So let us get into the faith system. So my more importance in this particular talk or in this Bodhi Chintana is what happens to our faith when such news come repeatedly. So the first point is how faith system gets impacted in our community. Second very important thing is how faith system gets impacted at the family level. There are two levels. We look at impact on our family level and look at our community level. In the past also, there were so many issues like, okay, in newspaper, it comes like some Sahiti said that, okay, he did toilet on one of the temple, one of the statue, which is like on a Banni temple or near Banni tree and all. And then nothing happened to me. It's all like blind belief. Those kind of things they told. There are a lot of movies are made against Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, and then mimicking them, and Narada, mimicking Narada, showing Yamadharma Raja, Chitragupta as very odd people or comedians like that. So there are so many things that are happening in our system. But as we repeatedly do in this Chintana, right? There are two ways of looking at it. One is look as they look outside for any other common man. Second approach is Look from the way how Srimad Ananda Tirtha has told. Agama and then Anumana, and then give importance to all the evidences that are available, and then look at the thing from the behind, means behind the scene what is happening, front of the scene what is happening. These two things we have to analyze. Then we will get to know what is happening in the back end. I will draw some parallel here. If we look at a Mahabharata, on the front end it looks like there is a Duryodhana and there are Pandavas. And then Duryodhana was always giving problems to Pandavas, and then Pandavas were always into some Adnyatavasa, they were Vanavasa, or they were like losing their crown, all those things that we see. But if you really look at what is Duryodhana, what is Pandava, and what is Lord Krishna there. Lord Krishna is Supreme Lord. And what is Duryodhana? The person or personality or the character which always hates Supreme Lord and always believes that this Lord is equal to me. And he has some special capability because of which he may do something different, but he is like me. He is any ordinary person. If you look at Pandavas or any other people on other side, they are like people who have lot of faith on Lord. Everything happens because of Lord, and Lord is supreme, and it is all his order. Even if they have to take a bow and arrow in their hand, they will wait for order from Lord Vishnu. And and for everything they have a very good faith in Lord Vishnu. And if we follow Duryodhana, we are on other side. If we follow Pandavas, the important thing that comes to our mind is faith in Lord or faith in the system that Lord has constituted. And who explained the system? Srimad Ananda Tirtha has explained the system to us, how the system is. So on a front, Mahabharata looks like it's a fight between two different people or within the family and all, but it's not fight between two people. It's between two type of systems, faith system, and then one is supreme system, like where one feels themselves as a supreme. So now when you see the impact of this faith system in the community level, the biggest loss that community is going to make is people slowly start losing faith in the system. For example, repeatedly company, an organization starts saying that, okay, we are not making profit. We are going to lay off some people. This year we don't have bonus. This year we don't have hike. This year we don't have promotion. Many of the things, if these things repeatedly come again and again, what happens? The entire citizens or community of that particular organization loses the faith. Slowly they will start leaving the system and then joining some other system where they feel comfortable or safe or growing. Similarly, as a community, the first thing that impacts us with all these kind of news is faith. Oh, so far we are feeling that if we have made any sin, if we just go and touch this Seshachala or Venkatachala, Anjanachala, our papa will be removed or we'll lose the papa. But now what happened? By going to that place itself, we are making papa now. And Lord himself is keeping quiet on this issue. And then he himself kind of made it happen. So the faith will be impacted. And the faith gets impacted very largely on the youth and the children or next generation or a woman. So that is the first point. Second point, the community will lose faith in leadership in the overall community. So the community which is built on faith always works on a faith as a first principle. They don't revolt immediately. They don't go and fight, or they don't go and burn the systems and all those kind of things. They don't do. They don't take law and order in their hands. They will take some action which is again based on the faith or based on very controlled manner. So people will start losing. Okay, we did not get any statement from saints. We did not get any statement from our mutt heads, or those kind of things will start coming. Then slowly people will say, okay, these are people who can't do anything, hence they are all keeping quiet. So then it gets settled at adopting wrong changes. It will also prompt people to say that, okay, these are bound to happen. Maybe we have to live like this only. Let us adopt the change, what is happening, even if it is wrong or right, let's not think about it, move on. And then it will lead weak management of change or news. Repeatedly, these kind of things are happening. The people who are busy in doing sadhana, doing something else, will not be able to react on many of these things, and people will start feeling that, okay, whenever these kind of issues happen, nothing happens. We are incapable of doing anything. So that kind of thing will start happening. And then it gives action in hands of individuals versus system. So now what individual might be doing at this particular point of time? Some people may be doing some prayers. Some people may be wishing that it is a false news. Some people may be cursing the politicians or the management or whatever, or even they themselves cursing that, okay, why did we go there? All those kind of things may be happening. So individual actions get down very much to individuals than overall as a system, to make sure that system acts first and then people act later. This is on one side. On any very important side, faith system in the family. Imagine this news comes and you are watching the TV, you are reading the newspaper loudly and all, and there are kids in your family, they are listening to this. What is the thing that goes into kids' mind? Kids or youth will feel that, okay, this happened. First of all, my family is incapable of even reacting to it. My family can't take any action. And the youth who are like half here, half there, half not convinced, half convinced, will immediately will step out. They feel that, okay, our people used to say, okay, you believe in this, you do that, there's a papa, punya, all these things. Now what happened? Even my father has eaten this. My mother also has eaten this. Even these pandits have eaten. All those kind of things will come. They may not express, but this comes in their mind and they get more confused, and their faith in the system, in the family, in our dharma, further will be broken. And then this also shows that the by eating this prasadam itself now, which has been told that it has lot of nishidha padartha. Now our family itself is corrupted, right? Now, then why you talk about mailge, mudi, musuri, all these kind of things? Don't eat outside, don't eat cake, these kind of things. They will keep start asking these questions, or these questions start coming. And then preaching whatever we preach, saying that, hey, if you believe in God, this happens. If you pray, it will happen like this. Then they slowly lose all these kind of things. So overall, if you look at it, the faith system within the family gets impacted very badly. The moment it gets impacted very badly at the family, the control of the family or the faith system in the family will lose its strength. So once it loses its strength, the family becomes weak. Weak in the sense, it it doesn't become a very strong Brahmin family or this Sanatana family. Then coming to capability as a community, what type of actionable our community is prepared for to prove it can fight back? How as a community we are now working together to fight back on this? We are all putting WhatsApp status. We are all sending lots of messages on the WhatsApp, and same forwarded messages are coming repeatedly again and again. But as a community, where are the discussions happening? Where are the plannings happening? Where are the things? What is best? What are the 4 5 options that we have? What can be done? Where it is happening? So if that doesn't happen, after another few days, the capability of the community as a whole will be under question mark. So then who will be leading the fight back effort if we are taking a action to fight back against this issue? Who is leading that? Where is our leader? What that leader is doing? And how many people are supporting? What is the way to support? There are a lot of questions wide open. Then how can we ensure the fight back would really solve the problem and stop further problems of the future? What we want is the problem to be solved. If the report is true, if it had those Nishiddha Padartha and we have consumed, I don't know how to solve the problem. But to stop these kind of problems happening further, what is the way, what is the feedback mechanism that we are choosing is most important. If those are not charted out in few days, in coming days, then the capability as a community becomes question mark, and then people will take the action on their hand, means it will leave the community and then individually people will take their action, and then it doesn't have much outcome. So if nothing is possible, including our generation to next generation, people will lose faith in the community strength. If these are things are not possible, then our generation will get impacted little bit less, because we already have our own built up and our own knowledge and something that we have learned from our past experience, and then we still continue believing in things. But the next generation may lose faith in the community strength. As a community, they may say, "Hey, we are weak community. Whatever people do, we are fine. Nothing happens. Nobody is there to fight against it." Action versus inaction. Though at a community level, a well thought action taken individually, what should be done? Action or inaction? It is most important. We cannot say that, okay, some people are working on this. Okay, let me be quiet. I don't need to do any action because they are doing. Or I will also get along with them. I will discuss with them. I will identify what actions are happening in our community, how they want to work on this situation. Let me understand the action and take the action and forward only those actions to other people through WhatsApp and all, instead of sensitizing the news or whatever is coming in news channel and all. So that is most important. Every individual or a family would remain in dilemma on action versus inaction. At a family level, I don't see there is any concern as such right now. Means I look at my family or any other neighborhood family and all, they're all just knowing the news, that's all. Nobody even thinking what need to be done at this point of time. How can we action on this? So that means we are remaining sometime as a inaction. How do we reach each one of the member of the community to define what does action means and what does inaction means? What mechanism we have today, or what need to be done as a community to tell, hey, if we do some action, how does it look like? If we don't do any action, what does it mean? What are the impacts of it? Those write-ups need to be shared in any social media or in our WhatsApp communication and all. Then again, once again, forwarding the messages, thinking that that is the action that we have to take. Forwarding the message, forwarding the news channel link, forwarding what is coming on the Facebook are not really important, because there is nothing going to happen with that. And already hundreds of channels will be forwarding that. There are people who without reading also forward. So no need of that. If action versus inaction definitions are not clear, once again, community will run into all possible different directions without much thinking, and will be split and try to justify themselves more than solution. If tomorrow after some time, if this topic comes up, who has done some purity work after this thing happened, then people try to justify themselves more than what as a community we have solved, what action we have taken, how did we solve the problem, versus what did they do, will be more, they will be telling about it than what as a community we have done or what action we have taken. So I ran through these slides very fast because the point I'm trying to say here is, any activity that is happening in our India or even from outside of India, the major their intention is to hurt or change the faith system. We believe in something. If there is a confusion being created on that particular system, then nobody will be there in that system for long. So that gives them more benefit and more advantage of converting people or getting them into their understanding system, and then pushing everyone into different system. That is the most important thing that is hidden behind this. Apart from that, maybe there could be some small tactical benefits, like, okay, somebody by adding some wrong stuffs into the ghee might have made some profit. Instead of spending 1 crore on producing something, he might have spent, say, 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs and made 90 lakhs as a profit. But that is not a big thing. But overall, if you see, day by day, the activity that are happening around us are to basically disturb our faith and belief system, so that the future generation should not even trust what their parents are telling. If we say, if you do Sandhyavandana properly, God will save you. So they want to create hundreds of things outside in front of them, where even though this guy is doing Sandhyavandana, they want to ensure that they are being impacted, so that one day question may come that, okay, what happened even after doing Sandhyavandana? why I've been impacted. So those kind of things are the main targets. So why I told Mahabharata story in the beginning is the person who were the people who were believing in Lord Krishna should lose the faith. That is the Duryodhana's intention or Kali's intention. So now in Kali Yuga, he is more powerful. So people who have more percentage of Kali Avesha, their main intention is not just to make profit. To make profit, they could have done something else also. But the main intention behind that, what I believe is to hurt faith system so that people don't stay with that particular system, that particular um, community, and then they ran out of that, and then it is easy to them get them under other opportunities that are there for to fool around. So that is what exactly is happening. If you see any of the activity that are happening, it's all are against the faith system only. So with that note, I will conclude. So I did not discuss anything about how community is going to fight back on this, what is to be done and all of that. Those things I have not done much analysis because there are a lot of other people who are already doing those kind of analysis. But for us, the more concern is how do we tell a story tomorrow to our kids? Today ourselves like, okay, do we very strongly believe in what Prahlada was believed? No. What Dhruvaraja has believed? No. So then it is getting more diluted day by day, and these events are increasing more and more just to hit our faith system, so that next generation will be like completely lost control of this particular system. With that note, I will leave the topic here, and if there are any questions or any other valid points people want to add, please go ahead and add it.
So, my opinion, this is actually related to the faith, right? Where we have a one Panchatantra story where one person is taking the goat from one town to the other town, and the thieves, the three thieves sees this, and they want to get the goat from his, so then they plan it. They create a perception that it is not a goat itself. One thief, comes to him and says that why you know which animal you are taking. It's a kind of it's a deer. So after some time, the person says, no, it's not a deer. It's a goat itself. Then he moves, for some more time, and then the second thief comes and he says that it's not a goat, it's something, dog. Then after, then he still argues the person, it's not a dog, it's something goat itself. Then after some time, when he was walking from to the towards the town, the third thief comes and says it's something, different animal. Then this guy, confused that, whether it's a goat or not. He will be get confused, and he throws that goat, and goes to his town. The thief takes that goat and use that. So this Panchatantra stories, the message is that the thieves are the cunning people, always try to confuse and create or manufacture the perception, so that the persons will be get confused. This is what happened. Even the faith, if you see it, the whole the definition and the whole perception of the faith, if you go uh, to the physically, right? When mother gets deliver a baby, right? And that baby believes into that mother, that she is, the kid are, the a newborn, right? It is more comfortable in the hands of mother, and it believes that mother. That's where the faith starts. Okay. And that's a generally, natural tendency of faith, how the it generates. And then we grow up and we'll have a thought process, so many theses we learn, and we will do a belief in so many stuffs of this whole world. It may be a capitalism, it may be a it may be a theology, or it may be some more, many subjects are there which we believe in. And as you said, it may be for Prahlada and Dhruva, it will be the whole God. And we are not in today's that position. Don't have such a yogyata to have, bhakti, that dhrada bhakti, that faith. And if you see the history of India, that's what happened. That the faith, the perceptions has been, manufactured, consistently. That they created India is not secular, our Hindus are not secular, but we were very much secular at the core. And they have created perception of everything we can buy through the money. That's a second wrong perception. And so many other, the perception has been created, and this is one of the latest one. That's Laddu, Tirupati Laddus is one of the biggest, the perception they want to create. If you see the crime news in the any channels or any newspaper, they are creating a wrong relations, or relations are getting nowhere. Means they are making relations are not useful, or social relations are it's not at all, useful. That's what perceptions being created through the print media, through the digital media, or through the judiciary system, through the constitution. So this is what happening. And best solution, as we see, right, we are going going further, what only the we can conquer the wrong faith or wrong perception through only consistently telling the right perception, putting the right perception. We have to be consistent in our understanding, and in our creating awareness about the righteous things. That's only a possible solution. And it should be only put together. Sattvic people can create that awareness, and they can create a the perception. It's not manufacturing, or it's not for the profit of self or any with the vested interest. We have to create awareness. We have to create consistently the righteous faith and righteous belief system. That's only with the Sattvic people coming together, and protesting the wrong perceptions. And this is the only solution which I can think of, and anybody others also can put their opinion.
Yeah,
How much time we have?
I think we have a couple of minutes only.
Okay, so here I have to quickly make 3 points.
Sure, sure.
So although it is very heartbreaking to know this, but this is not anything new. It has been happening for last 1,000 years. And what we can do at family level is, this is a wonderful opportunity to tell our children about the Shatru Bodha. Okay, these are the enemies of us. They are here to destroy us, and we have to embolden like the Israelis that we are going to stay here. Okay, and for this, then they will be preparing for next 20 years, our children. So this is what we have to tell them, that you see, when we develop Shatru Bodha, we have to know what the Shatru can do to us, at what levels, how low they can go. Okay, so this is very important. So this is and continue to that, the speaker mentioned that maybe the Lord himself brought it to it. So maybe to go around this statement, either we should say, although it comes through bhakti, this is the implications of bhakti, but we should say maybe the Lord want us to know the Shatru Bodha.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe the Lord wants us that, okay, you are so lean in bhakti, but the Shatru is thinking something else. So he want to destroy your bhakti. So that is, these are two strong point. And another point is, we mentioned so many times faith. So although classically the definition of faith and the concept of faith is Abrahamic. So maybe we can replace it with the word bhakti or darshanik system or belief. So I think the more close will be, I mean, the more appropriate for our Indian perspective will be bhakti rather than faith, because faith has some, other connotations.
Right.
I might be wrong, or I might have to further study on it.
Yeah.
So these three things I think we can see. As such, as family or as an individual, we cannot right now go and do something administratively or this thing. But at least, although we send messages and all, but let us use this opportunity or this disaster as to tell our, even I told my 5-year-old nephew, so he knows it now. I mean, one day we can meet. I can just demonstrate few things with him to you guys. So this is to embolden Shatrubodha. Maybe the Sri Hari wants us to know it, that wake up and use all the people who are at the places, put them in the system, increase your number in next 20 years. Maybe 1 or 2 generation we have to spend in poverty for some for some families, but that will increase the strength of the forthcoming generations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Can we go to the ending prayer?
Yeah. If anybody want to add any points, it's still okay.
Hari Sarvottama Vayu Jivottama.
Hari Sarvottama
Hari
Vayu
Sarvottama Vayu Jivottama.
Sriman Madhva Mate Hari Parataraha